Philippine Coast Guard is enhancing its rules on how it will respond to acts of harassment, intimidation, or aggressive actions in the wake of a recent laser pointing incident in the West Philippine Sea.
We are currently including the use of laser technology in our rules of on the use of force. But again, our rules on the use of force has to be approved by the National Task Force West Philippine Sea.
The PCG admits that they don't have laser technology capabilities just yet, but they are seeking the expertise of countries like Japan and the United States to help them formulate their new guidelines. The Coast Guard also stood firm that what the Chinese Coast Guard used was not commercial lasers that led to temporary blindness of some Filipino crew.
We have already presented the videos and the photos that we experienced during the patrol of our Coast Guard vessel. It doesn't appear that the one that is presenting to the public last Friday is the exact instrument that was used towards a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. And I cannot imagine how that kind of small gadget can project so much intensity of light.
Apart from changing protocols, the PCG also hopes to get enough support for their modernization.
Right now, the Philippine Coast Guard only has 3 offshore patrol vessels. It is very important for us to have offshore patrol vessels because these are the types of vessel that can last for more than 10 days at sea. These are the types of vessels that can extend our patrolling in the West Philippine Sea. I think more than 20 offshore patrol vessels is what the Philippine Coast Guard needs.
The Philippine Coast Guard eyes joint patrols with other countries to further step up its presence in the West Philippine Sea. And among all ongoing negotiations, the joint patrols with the U.S. Coast Guard is the most likely to happen.
I can only speak for the Philippine Coast Guard and the United States Coast Guard. As I always mention, there are a lot of common mandates for these 2 Coast Guards. We support maritime safety, we protect the marine environment, and we also carry out maritime law enforcement.
President Bongbong Marcos reiterated over the weekend that the country will not surrender an inch of its territory in the West Philippine Sea. In a security conference in Germany, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo said that harassment in the South China Sea happens daily.
On a day-to-day basis, there are still many events occurring in the South China Sea. And there are daily incidents, at least as far as we see it, of cases of harassment or land reclamation, which in many cases have been depriving the Philippines of the use of our exclusive economic zone.
The Philippine government has so far filed over 70 diplomatic protests under the Marcos administration. Beijing, on the other hand, insists on the need for more communication channels to prevent a similar incident like in Ayungin Shoal from happening again. Tristan Nodalo, CNN Philippines.